What's guys, the Red Cloak here, and chapter 306 of My Hero Academia was really a fascinating chapter to read. I do think it was one of the best in My Hero Academia, probably top 3 or top 2, but it definitely is probably one of the best chapters that came out in this week, or out of everything that came out this week. But this is only the fan translation, so the translations on Sunday probably might change that, but right now I still think it's probably one of the best chapters this week. But before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit that bell notification if you guys love this My Hero Academia content. I'm going to consistently try to give you guys My Hero Academia content, so stay around and stick around for My Hero Academia content I'm producing. Chapter 306 actually continues with All Might still checking on DEKU because he's still in the Vestige world, and sadly we do not get to see the second and third one for all users, so I think that's going to be saved as a mystery for the later on future. And All Might is still there caring, and he can feel their conversations but through emotion, but it actually gets stopped when he gets a knock on the door by Best Genius and Hawk. Hawks and Best Genius actually walk in, and All Might says what do they want, and Hawks cuts straight to the point that we need to know what is One for All. And at this point, there's no point of hiding it from the heroes, so All Might kind of has to tell them, but in a private area, so they have to leave, and Best Genius sees Uraka and Ida, and I'm pretty sure that's Jiro, in Deku's room because he's still sleeping while still talking to the One for All vestiges. Hawks then tells All Might that he wanted Endeavor to tell him, but it didn't really matter because Endeavor didn't know anything about it, and to ask Midoriya, but Midoriya is still sleeping or still knocked out by their eyes, so they went to All Might, the next man up. And All Might just noticed, like, yeah, I can't hide anything from these guys anymore. They're not only fighting against villains, they're fighting against the whole society, so he will tell them everything. We go to UA and we see Principal Nezu talking to somebody, saying that he'll tell the government assistants right away, and it looks like he's having an important conversation for the near future, so we should get back to that when it's actually important at the near end of the chapter. 3 days have passed and nothing still changes, because everyone's still panicking. They want somebody to blame, and it looks like the three heroes, Endeavor, Hawks, and Best Genius, are gonna be the ones to blame. Out about Best Genius because he was kind of out the frame, so it might just be Hawks and Endeavor, but mostly Endeavor. And everyone just yelling at them saying that we're worried, we want to ensure our safety, and you need to make sure that you guys aren't making mistakes anymore. Yeah, it kind of sucks to be a hero in My Academia, because if anything bad happens and you just in the top 3 or top 5, you probably about to get blamed for something that you have nothing to do with, or it's out of your control and you can't do anything about it. So it kind of sucks being here in the top 3 or top 5 if something bad goes on in society. Later on, Endeavor doesn't even lie to the public. He just says everything was true and gives them the complete details of his family history. Everyone's just in shock and disappointment. One guy says their family really is done, and other people just say a terrible story, and they thought that he was on their side. And not only that, Endeavor's the #1 hero, and he just showed a villainous act or a villainous past that he had. Well, it's not really villainous because he was still a hero, but you know, that past was very villainous. The public goes on a frenzy in disbelief and just telling Endeavor, if that's the truth, how is the one with Best Genius and Hawks one true? And Hawks calms everyone down and says that he needed Best Genius to fake his death so he can infiltrate the League of Villains as a spy, but he completely apologizes about his father's criminal past. But I will say this, Hawks really doesn't need to apologize for his father's criminal past. It was something out of his control. He just wanted to be a hero, and his father being criminal wasn't his fault. It was out of his control. He wasn't going to go up to his father and say, hey, you shouldn't be a villain. No, it was out of his control. He was just set up in a bad situation. But this is the public of My Hero Academia, so they're going to find something to blame on someone. So I think Hawks apologizing here was necessary, and he apologized for him trying to take out twice, which he did. And again, he didn't need to apologize, but he did. So I will say this, that he did explain in full detail why he did it, but I'm pretty sure the public don't want to hear it right now. This young lady then raises her hand and has a question, or basically wants to say something to Endeavor because her mom was injured in the Gigantomachia stampede, and she starts yelling at Endeavor saying that we're gonna fix everything, but it's still the same. Everything's still the same to her, and she feels like he has no right to sidestep things like this, and she feels like it's because of Endeavor's past mistakes that everything is happening, which again, I will say this incorrectly, that was incorrect, because I don't think everything happened because of Endeavor's past mistakes. I think this happened because society's past mistakes, neglecting Shigaraki. Just looking at these villains, we know that they became villains because how society treated them. Endeavor probably has one of the most funniest lines and disrespectful lines for this woman, and he just said, "Would it make it up to you if I were crying in front of you instead?" And the woman just starts going insane, like 3.0 Karen mode, saying, "Excuse me, of course it wouldn't. I'm telling you that ease the panic, get rid of the villains." And Endeavor finishes her sentence, says, "That's the only way for Endeavor to atone." And I hope you guys know how I feel. I think Best Genius is my hero. I think he is a very great hero. I think he's one of the best. But I gotta say, this guy's drip ain't it. Like, the suit he's wearing, like, his neck is just very, very long. He's wearing a collar that is probably, like, reaching up to his neck and to, you know, cover his neck. And his face is normal. Everything, that's cool. His face is normal. A beautiful guy. But still, this man is wearing a collar that is covering his neck and reaching up to his neck. I didn't think he would have a very long neck, but apparently this is the case. Now back to the chapter. Best Genius actually continues and says, knowing that these heroes, or most heroes, kind of retired and that there's less heroes around, they decided to protect certain citizens first. And everyone goes mad and say, "Excuse me, what are you saying?" And Best Genius continues because he doesn't really care, and he just tells them that UA will be a shelter. So no UA, no, you know, My Hero Academia. So it's just going to be a shelter for the kids or for the parents that actually have their kids attending UA. We actually get to see a shot of Mama Midoriya. So yes, Inko Midoriya is still alive. She isn't dead. Gigantomachia didn't crush her. Endeavor then yells at the public and says, "All your worries and hatred, please direct them on me," because he feels like this is his fault and this is his doing that he needs to correct. And then Endeavor then tells them just to watch him. The same thing he said in the Pro Hero arc when he was first announced the #1 hero. He told the public, just sit back and watch him do his thing. And I'm happy that he's our #1 hero. Well, their #1 hero, because I can't wait to see what this guy has in store for the future. And after that, apparently more heroes started decreasing, but more fought back and more rose up, which means Wash got a frying pan thrown at him. Can we just give Wash some props? Like, this man has went through a lot. Having a frying pan thrown at you and yelled by a group of people, that kind of sucks. Mirako is still staying, of course. Aizawa and some other person. I don't know if this is Ryuku or if this is Burnin, but I'm just gonna say the latter. When asked about One for All, Endeavor didn't tell the reporters anything, just to keep Deku safe so he wouldn't get bombarded by the media. But the next couple of days, or the next month, which is April, I don't know, this is when Deku left, but Deku leaves notes to all of his fellow classmates in Class 1A, to Uraraka, Kaminari, Farabi, everyone. And we don't see Bakugo, we don't see how he reacts, but I have a little theory for, you know, at the end of the video. And you see Uraraka is reading the note, and now they found out that Deku has All Might's power, One for All, that All for One and Shigaraki are after him, so this is why he left. And Uraraka calls him a dummy because he'd even do it in person, because Deku really is leaving his friends behind. He's willing to change to protect his friends so they don't have to get caught up in the battle that he started. You could say Deku's taking the Nana Shimura route, but I think this is best for Class 1A, Uraraka, and everyone in there who got attacked by the villains. So, where is Deku? Well, our Chad Deku is somewhere else. In April, Deku is on top looking down a city, and he sees buildings falling down, and he's wearing Gran Torino's cape. And not only that, his whole outfit is ripped up, and I feel like he is not only dropped out of UA, he removed himself from everyone else's life, anyone that was important to him. And Deku then says, lastly, a big villain's attacking, which ends off the chapter. Now, theory time. Deku, in my opinion, I don't think he'd be alone. I think he is not only with All Might, but I think Bakugo is with him as well. Because Bakugo should have been present when reading his note. Bakugo should have had a reaction. I think Bakugo would be the first one to go out and try to look for Midoriya. And I have a theory, or other people have theories, that Deku may be in America. But it could be possible. But I don't think Deku is going anywhere yet. And as the title chapter suggests, the beginning of the end. And I do feel like this is kind of the end stages of My Hero Academia to give us a sequel. Yes, a sequel to My Hero Academia. Probably My Hero something. Y'all can call it anything you want. Yes, so I wholeheartedly believe that Deku is somewhere else, and Bakugo and All Might are with him. So I feel like that should be the case, unless Deku is going on the lone route and trying to be alone and trying not to be near anyone so no one else gets hurt. But that is what I think. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It has been the Red Cloak. I'm head up out of here, guys. This chapter was a 10 out of 10. It had everything that I wanted. And peace out, guys.